Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Tales of Geordie Matt. So, say hello, Geordie Matt.
Hello, everyone.
So, today we're going to go back in history to Hilda, my grandmother's mother and sister, and their adventures in Australia. So, start off with Dora, maybe Hilda's sister getting married. Dad, remember
Yes.
that?
Yeah, it was so long before I knew the mind. It was before the war. My mother-in-law, Hilda's sister, large family, married a plumber who worked in the shipyards. And at the time, the shipyards were 90% unemployed. There was people marching all over the place looking for jobs. And her husband decided to emigrate to Australia. And everyone was against it, didn't want to leave her, lose her sister. But he was a very forceful man. And she loved him enough to go with him, so off they went to Australia. And had a terrible time when I first went there. He couldn't find a job anywhere. They were living from hand to mouth. It was before the welfare states.
So, there was no relatives out there to give them any
No,
support.
he's gone. I didn't know anyone. He
Right.
just read books about Australia being a land of opportunity, but they had a bit of a depression as well. Anyway, he started picking up odd days' work here and odd days' work there. But they were living in a one-room flat, and many a day they didn't have anything to eat. So he started going for long walks and knocking on the doors of businesses. And one day he went for a long walk and he came to this chicken farm. So he got a job there. And meanwhile, his wife was writing letters back home saying how terrible it was out there and how the more he looked for a job and didn't get one, the nastier he became, more aggressive, and her life was a misery. And she wished she'd never left and she wanted to come back to England, but there was no money to come back to England with. So her mother decided to go out to Australia to see if she could help her.
So this is her mother, Charlotte, who was a
Charlotte, yes,
widower by then.
yes. And
A widow,
in
not a
them
widow.
days, it took a long time on the boat to get there, but she eventually reached them and linked up with them on this chicken farm. And her son-in-law wouldn't have anything to do with her and wouldn't let her stay there and ordered her out. And she'd assumed she'd be able to live with them with a few coppers she'd taken with her and help look after the house while he found a job or something. But it didn't work out. So she found herself in her 60s in a strange land with no money and nowhere to live. So he said he would give her a week. And if she didn't find anything in a week, he would throw her out the door. So she got the local paper to see what job she was doing. And she's now in her 60s. So the only job she saw was a caring companion needed. So it was a local town. She couldn't afford the bus fare, so she walked several miles to get there, asking people
Right.
the way there all the time. She got there, and it was an old lady. And she came in, she said, "Who am I going to look after?" She said, the old lady said, "Me." And she didn't tell the old lady that she was older. The old lady was 68, and Tilly's mum was 69. So she was going to look after by someone older than herself. But the good thing was they hit it off fine. They became firm friends, and she was quite well to do, the lady. So the accommodation was in the house, she had a room of her own, and they went all over the place. And she had a really happy time. And of course, she wanted to come home because she was missing her family, because she still wasn't working at the chicken farm. Her son-in-law would have nothing to do with her.
Oh, goodness.
So what she did do, she went to the shipping companies, Australian English shipping companies, to
Uh-huh.
find out when the next boat back to England was. But the war was raging, and out there was the Japanese. Ships were being sunk all the time. There was no liner, which had a name down with the first liner if it ever sailed.
Okay.
And in 1945, the war ended. So she got on the first ship home and left the son-in-law and her daughter-in-law, who'd settled down a bit by then. Otherwise, she wouldn't have left. But they,
Okay.
but they got it on now and were okay. And she came back to England. And the son-in-law was summoned by his boss, who was an old man who ran the chicken farm, and said, I'm going to retire.
Hmm.
Oh dear, said the son-in-law. Well, what's going to happen to the chicken farm? He said, well, it'll be sold. He says, that means I mightn't get my job with the new owner. The chicken farm had taken a liking to him and said, why don't you buy it?
Right.
He says, I haven't got any money. He says, you could get a loan. He says, I'd need someone to back me. He says, I'll back you.
Right.
So he took him to the bank and they agreed a price for the chicken farm, which was far less than it was worth. But the
Yeah.
old guy was in his 80s. He didn't need a lot of money
Uh-huh.
and he guaranteed the loan. So it was his chicken farm now. And it didn't make a lot of money. It was on the outskirts of a town. And a year goes by and war was declared. And an American army base opened in the field opposite the chicken farm.
Right.
It was a big American camp with about 7,000 people eventually. And what they wanted was chickens. So he could sell as many chickens as he could breed. And at the end of the war, it was a prosperous business. And he ended up a wealthy couple, which didn't seem fair for a nasty man in the first place. But that's what happened. So that's the end of that story.
Okay, well that's a brilliant one. I guess I'm thinking some of his nastiness might have been due to the strain he was undergoing, which would have been
Oh,
pretty
indeed.
incredible.
It was a hard life in them days. Australia was hard as we were, and there wasn't any social systems or relatives you could go to.
So yeah, well, I can imagine I would be feeling a bit stressed out if that was happening to me, and that's not good for me. So, okay, Dad, I think that's such a nice self-contained tale. We'll call it a day. A nice short one for a change. So
Right.
say
Goodbye,
goodbye to
everyone.
everyone. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Well done, Dad. Bye.